You're under pressure a little bit during the second and third terms when Brisbane seemed to lock it in your half. How did you weather that storm as a side?
Yeah, well, sides game ebbs and flows, and I think when it goes our way, you got to make the most of it. And when the opposition have their run of the play, you just got to stop it as much as you can. Sydney do that extremely well, and so did Geelong. So we just need to make sure, or from a defensive point of view, in the back line, that we're beating a direct opponent and just doing everything we can not to let them get a roll on. I know we pumped the ball, we kicked the ball out a lot, came back in, so I think we held up well enough, but that's something we want to get better at, is when sides get a run on, to try to get it back on our terms as quickly as we can.
Shannon, was there a slightly different role for you on the weekend? It was mentioned in some of the coverage that you started a bit more midfield and maybe rolled back a little bit as opposed to playing the pure defender.
There wasn't a massive difference. Just happened to start on the wing just for that first period of the game, but I think most of the game played down back. I think that's where I'll be. Always like to get up in the midfield for a little bit, but there's not a great role change.
Is that a way, maybe sometimes, to beat that accountable forward that they tend to put on the side?
Look, it certainly can be, yes, but it's one of the challenges that every player gets is your opposition. Sometimes they play you tight, sometimes they give you a little bit of leeway. But as a backman, I enjoy trying to beat my opponent. So if they want to come and play a little bit defensive, enjoy that. But the same if they don't want to, I still enjoy playing on a good quality forward and just trying to beat them.
What was that your best game for the evening? The game against Brisbane on Saturday?
No, I don't think so. Because I think I had a couple of instances where I was just a bit off in the back line, just with a couple of crumbs. Probably gave my opponent just a little bit too much. So I think I've had a couple of better defensive games, but potentially used the ball a bit more in the first half. It's something I certainly practice. Yeah, it can break the game up, especially everyone's trying to play at 18-man zone, get them out the back. We sometimes, if it's on and I'm feeling well, I'll kick it. But I think we have good enough structures. That's a bit of the last resort sometimes.
If you did get under one, where would plan that surgery?
Mate, sometimes they roughly get to the centre circle if we kick them well enough. Yeah, I think with Eric McKenzie, Mitch Brown, Will Schofield, Darren Glass, they do a great job. They can protect blokes. And that's what you want as a backline. If you're sitting under the ball, you just want blokes just to not run in and smash you. You just want to have a little bit of momentum taken away, and I think we do that well.
What role does Darren play now? Apart from being in general, what's his role in the structure?
As a defender, to beat his man, but I suppose the question where you're getting at is probably that Eric McKenzie's probably playing on the key forwards now. Mitch Brown's doing a very good job with that as well, as is Eric McKenzie. So Glassy probably can play tall or he can play small if he wants, and it can bring him into the game because he can read the play so well. So he can potentially drop off a bit and read the ball.
You do that a bit. Is Darren the best one you've got at the ability to roll off and get in front of the forward on that?
Yeah, he is. But I think. Yeah, he is, and I think the key with that, with any young defender coming through, is your starting position. So you still have to be accountable for your direct opponent, and then as soon as over time you get enough information about when he's dangerous and when he's not, and you still get it wrong, but you're on him, and then it's now I can come and I can help fill a bit of space. So that takes a lot of time. I think Ash Smith, Jacob Brennan. Getting better at that and understanding that, but certainly when you're a young kid, it's a lot of just play on him real tight. But the older you get and you get a bit more confident, you're happy to, I've got him, but then you can read the ball.
How big a hole would it leave in your defence if you decided to pick him at the end of the season?
Darren Glassy. Well, I think he's a great player, so you always want those blokes to play for as long as they can. But as for a hole, I think we'd be plenty good enough. As I said, we've got McKenzie, Brown, Schofield for tools. Bowie Waters hasn't played a lot of footy this year, neither Sam Butler. So I think we can cover it well enough.
Expecting to get Bo back this week?
Yeah, I think so. Is that right, Stocksy? Yeah, I think he'll be all right. So it's great to have him playing. I think Sammy Butler will be a bit of a test, I suppose. But be nice to get Bo back.
Kerr as well.
Not sure what's happening there, but I think he'll just get tested and monitored through the week.